Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we are talking about pin-making headlines, the plan, the open nickel mines in Raja Ampat. As much you know, Raja Ampat is a beautiful and biodiversity place in Indonesia. To talk about this current day, we have two guests. This is Eka Rahma as a local community, and this is Dr. Tegarin as a environmental researchman. Thank you for joining the podcast.
Yes, thanks for inviting me. I'm so happy. Glad to join the discussion.
Okay, first let's start with the basic. People have heard bits and pieces about nickel mining plan in Raja Ampat, but many are still confused. Eka, can you give us a sense of what this situation looks like in local communities?
Sure, over the past month, we've been hearing about companies exploring the state areas for possible mining. The problem is the information does not always reach everyone. Some village hear one thing, another village hears something different. This creates uncertainty. People are curious because our life depends on the sea, the forest, and clean water. Any major change feels like a direct threat.
Okay, so the consensus about meaning itself, but also the law of clarity.
Exactly, we are not saying no to everything. We are saying explain it clearly so the studies let the community participate from the start.
Dr. Kirin, we're not saying no everything. We're saying explain it clearly. So the studies let the community participate from the start.
Because Raja Ampat isn't just a local research. Its coral reefs are among the richest in the world. Scientists study them as a model of what a healthy reef looks like. It's home to species you can find anywhere else, and so when there talk of opening mines nearby, people worry about how even small disturbance could affect the ecosystem.
Okay, thank you for the discussion. Okay, next, let's step back and talk about nickel itself. Why is nickel suddenly everywhere in the news?
Nickel is key material in making batteries, especially for electric vehicles. As more countries push for clean energy and electric transportation, the need for nickel shoot up. The demand push companies to look for new sources.
Okay, Eka, do local residents understand this global demand?
Yes, people know nickel has value. We understand the world is changing, but at the same time, we ask, does the world need for nickel have to affect the core of our home? If it must happen, then we want to feel secure that the process won't destroy what we depend on.
Thank you for that argument. Okay, Eka, let's talk about the community main concerns. When people discuss that issue, what worries them of the most?
First, the sea. Many families depend on fishing. If the water becomes muddy or polluted, fish will live. Second, land rights. Some areas being discussed of overlap with customary land which hold cultural meaning. And the third is social change. When big projects enter, everything shifts price habits, sometimes even the unity of the community.
Okay, so the impact is just not environmental, but also social and structural.
Very much so. Our identity is tied to this land, and people fear losing control over their own home.
Thank you for the argument. Okay, next for the Dr. Tegarin, let's get into the environmental side. People often hear this place is fragile, but many don't really understand what this means. Could you explain it?
Sure. Raja Ampat has a tightly connected system. And for example, if an area of forest in cleared for roads or mining operation, soil becomes loose. When rain comes, the soil can slide down into rivers and eventually flow into the sea. And that the sediment can cover coral and weaken it. And once the coral weakness, fish population drop. And then when fish population drop, communities lose food and income.
Okay, sounds like a chain reaction.
Exactly, and recovery is slow. The coral can take decades to regrow. If damage is widespread, it can take longer than the generation.
Okay, how about the land itself?
The terrain is steep. If the wrong area is opened, it can cause the landslide. Those landslide not only damage nature but also put nearby village and at risk.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next let's talk about the process. Eka, can you say earlier that communication has been limited? What do people want the college?
We want transparency, we want open meetings, not closed door discussion. If studies are done, we want to see the result. We also want the government and companies to respect our customary land and give space for us to speak. A decision like this shouldn't be made without the people who will actually live with the consequence.
Okay, thank you. And Dr. Gerin, from a scientific standpoint, what would a responsible process look like?
First, independent environmental assessment, not one surrounded solely by the project owners. Second, the result should be available publicly. And third, there should be long-term monitoring plans in place. And finally, the community needs to be involved from the start, not after the decisions are made.
Okay, thank you. And everyone, it's the close for podcast. This issue is not simple. On one side, there's global demand for nickel to support clearly energy. On the other side, there is fragile region to people all come. To Eka, thank you for joining us and Dr. Gary.
Thank you.